Composition of Sound gegründet. Als dann aber der Sänger Dave Gahan dazu stieß, benannten sie sich in Depeche Mode um. Die 4 Musiker stürmten danach die Charts mit Hits wie
You join us on the 8th day by Lake Iseo. We went down a hill from our hotel to Sarniko. Sarniko is the town where they make Riva yachts. I'm not much into pleasure crafts myself, but if I ever won one of the bigger Euro jackpots, I would actually consider this 66-foot Riva Ribelle. Having left Sarniko, we proceeded towards Arese, just north of Milan, and the Alfa Romeo Museo Storico, the Alfa Romeo Museum. Here you see me posing in front of the 690T engine powering our Stelvio Quadrifoglio, and it was designed by Ferrari engineers. If you want to know more about this engine, click on the link in the upper right corner of your screen. Next up, the Alfa Romeo 8C 2300 Corto from 1932. You can see that big headlights do have a history going way back. The Alfa Romeo Montreal from 1970, well, in beautiful orange. If there's any car in the whole museum I feel embody myself, it is the Alfa Romeo Montreal. Wow, the 2 most beautiful Alfa Romeo designs in my book. The red Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione and the silver bluish, in my mind, 156 in brand new condition. If I could pick one of them, I actually don't know which one I'd choose. The 156 was just such an amazing car when it came out. Okay, so we're driving along Lake Lugano in Switzerland. I can tell you that immediately the speed is a lot lower here than in Italy. The average consumption right now is 10 liters per 100 kilometers since we left home, and we have traveled 2,305 kilometers. So that's it's pretty good. You can see immediately when you go, especially when you're when you're driving in the mountain in the Alp passes. That's when the fuel consumption is going up. You don't have much fuel consumption going down, but the fuel consumption going up is so high that it's. So we arrived at Lavartesso, just a little bit northwest of Lake Maggiore. My wife has found most of the places we're going to. I mean, I have found some places along the road, but she has found most places, and so that's her thing. She's finding the places, and I'm trying to make a sensible route. Hey. Okay, it's raining. They promised rain, and here it comes. We got hail.
Oh, okay. Hagel också.
Ja, better. They're quite big. I think they will hurt a bit if we get them on our head. So I think.
We're lite närmare oss.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Where are you? Oh my god.
So we're going back to Italy. And the thing is, it says 65 kilometers distance here, and it says it's gonna take 1 hour and 39 minutes. I just, well, almost can't believe it, but I will believe it because it was the same thing going here from the Alfa Romeo Museum. So we're coming up to some dam here. After visiting Ponte dei Salti in Lavartese, we returned down the mountains and down south along the western shore of Lake Maggiore and back into Italy to Baveno, where we stayed one night at the hotel by the lakeside promenade. Just across the street by the water was an open-air restaurant where we had an excellent and, may I say, very romantic dinner. When we got to the hotel in the afternoon, the parking was full, but we were met by a very friendly receptionist and guided to Parc Fermé behind the hotel garden. I can really recommend Baveno and our hotel Beau Rivage, to anyone. And we are planning to come to Lauterbrunnen later today. In ways, we had one route that was we could actually not take because it was blocked. You know, there are all these mountain passes, and that one was not open anyway. Officially, a lot of the passes open tomorrow, but I saw on a sign down here that passes around here, they were all green and they were all open. So it's the 24th of May right now. So well, this is quite an enjoyable road. In here in Switzerland, you have to hold back because a lot of people are actually driving slower than the actual speed limit. So going uphill like this, I am using the dynamic mode because it's working more in the optimum RPM register. If I gear up now, I will see that it's not really gonna save me any fuel. It's just gonna be more. I think it's not gonna be as good for the engine. So maybe I will. By this, I will get slightly higher fuel consumption when going uphill. But the difference is so marginal, and it feels a lot better to be in a lower gear. Actually, I think it's a lot better for the engine. It's breathing better. Okay, here we're coming to some kind of mountain pass. I think we're on the right track. Who knows? Interesting. Hello. Okay, let's hope for the best.
Fortsätt rakt fram 25 minuter till Blausee.
Fan, det är ett jävla tåg. Okay, we didn't really understand, but we are actually going on a on a train. Okay. Hence the hefty price tag. Okay, here we go. The train is going from. It's going to a place called. Very slowly. It's going very slowly. It's going. This is Autofelat Lötsberg, and we are going to Kandesteg. That's where I guess the train is gonna be, and then we are going to Blausee, which is like a small lake, and then hopefully we can continue further on north. My fear is that it's gonna be quite boring, that we're gonna go into a tunnel and we're not gonna see anything until we get out on the other side, but let's see. The window, so it's a lot more quiet and less smell soon of a railway. And now we're going out from the tunnel. It's 14:16. Let's see if we're at the stop or if we're just gonna continue. It's raining on this side. Maybe one of the more surreal experiences I've had in a car, or maybe not. Anyway, it's nice to be out of the tunnel. It's nice to be traveling sometimes without doing the driving. There are quite a lot of unexpected costs when you're out with a car like this, so we've been saving for a while, saving up for this trip, so we have enough, but just that's something to think of, you know, when you're out driving like this, that you need always to have a little bit of extra cash available, because you don't know what expenses you're going to have. It's not only fuel, that's what I want to say. Let's go. Speed, but I don't want to drive that fast. Unbelievable, huh? Very nice. A few kilometers north of Kandersteg, we stopped at Blausee, which is another bluish lake. Next to the lake was a trout farm, which was pretty cool. After Blausee, we continued towards our Swiss goal, Lauterbrunnen, but stopped on the way by the Ängstigen Falls in Adelboden. Okay, we are on the Autobahn, or on the Autobahn resting place. We just, sometimes you have to stop. We're on the way home. We'll stay one day today in one night in Germany, and then we'll stay one night at my mother's place in the south of Sweden, and we just passed 3,000 kilometers. So we left. We stayed 2 nights in Switzerland in Lauterbrunnen. Hotel was okay. The view was really magnificent. It's nice to get the car out on Autobahn, and stretch it out a bit. I'm not doing my. I have a pregnant wife with me, so I'm not doing any high-speed tests or anything. I wouldn't do it anyway, but it's nice to get the car out running a bit, because usually it's never going to run 160 kilometers, 170 kilometers an hour for any long stretch of time. It's always, when you're out on a road trip like this, it's always a little bit sad when you're getting close to the end, because it's nice to be out. It's always nice to come home, but it's really nice to be away. And we've been planning this for a long time, and you feel like this is a goal we've had for a while, and now this goal is coming to an end, and we will have a kid in October, so that'll be very nice. It's gonna be the next goal, but anyway, this is something like a milestone or whatever that is now passed, and we're gonna have to reset ourselves on new adventures and goals or whatever. So. We've got 4 hours and 8 minutes to go to our today's stop, today's hotel. I just picked a random hotel or random town, almost mid-journey between Lauterbrunnen and where my mother lives, and not distance-wise, but time-wise.
Und Keyboarder von Depeche Mode. Er hatte in den späten 70ern zusammen mit Martin Gore und Vince Clarke zunächst die Band Composition of Sound gegründet. Als dann aber der Sänger Dave Gahan dazu stieß, benannten sie sich in Depeche Mode um. Die 4 Musiker stürmten danach die Charts mit Hits wie Live und Just Can't Get Enough. Depeche Mode hat über 100 Millionen Tonträger verkauft und ist damit eine der erfolgreichsten Bands der Welt. Soweit die Meldung.
Der Krieg gegen die Ukraine hat die Abhängigkeit des Westens von russischer Energie drastisch deutlich gemacht. Vor allem wir in Deutschland brauchen noch das russische Gas, sonst blieben am Ende Wohnungen kalt und Industriebetriebe müssten schließen. Und diese Herausforderung kommt in eine Zeit, in der Deutschland und andere sich aufmachen, klimaneutral zu wirtschaften, ohne die Nutzung von fossiler Energie, am Ende nur noch durch Einsatz erneuerbarer Energien.
Denn dadurch erheben wir natürlich auch das Interesse bei den vielen Handwerkern, die es gibt, damit sie sich mit dieser Technologie beschäftigen können. Der Einbau der Wärmepumpe in einem Haus ist von
Der Vorschlag des russischen Präsidenten Putin, Sanktionen gegen sein Land aufzuheben und im Gegenzug Getreideexporte freizugeben, stößt bei westlichen Staaten auf Ablehnung.
Laut Polizei waren
Kind of border control to Denmark.
HSV-Fans und ca. 40 Anhänger des FC St. Pauli getroffen. Während des Auftritts soll die Band Viva HSV geschrien haben.
Maybe they still have
Daraufhin
some
hätten die Fans des Kiezclubs die HSV-Anhänger angesagt.
Corona control.
Beide Seiten sollen unter anderem...
Nästa jävla regn har varit med. Ja, men satan av oss. Det ser ju för fan ingenting.
Vad prisar du din där?
Ja, den är här bak, men jag tror inte jag har pressat den. So we're getting to the final kilometers of our road trip. We've traveled through 6 countries in addition to Sweden, our home country, and the average consumption is 10.3 liters per 100 kilometers. If you have seen my videos before, you know that I'm quite obsessed with fuel consumption. It's like a sport for me to have a low fuel consumption, or as slow as possible. But on this trip I haven't really tried too hard. I just enjoy the car, so I have to say I'm really impressed. So driving modes on motorways and highways, I've been mostly using dynamic or race mode, first and foremost because the car feels a lot more stable then. Uphill in the mountains, I use the dynamic because I think when you're in normal or especially advanced efficiency, which I'm more or less only using in town to get a more smooth ride, but when you're using the normal mode, I think she's gearing up too early. I think she's even gearing up earlier than is always good for lowest fuel consumption. So I think dynamic is quite a good thing then. Sometimes I use the automatic, sometimes I've been using the manual shifting. So the brakes, yeah, we went to my mother's place yesterday, and so we took my mother's Toyota Yaris. What I really enjoyed about that car, which you don't get here, and I've mentioned it before in an earlier video, is the smooth brakes, because there's no way you can get on the brakes smoothly on this car. So I hesitate as far as possible, to use the brakes. So especially if you have a passenger, it's so uncomfortable the way the car gets on the brake. But that's one thing that really was so obvious to me yesterday when I tested my mother's car, and it was so smooth to drive. Anyway, that's the only complaint I've had. This car has been fantastic. It's roomy. You have the ground clearance. Some of the places you go to maybe we wouldn't have made it with a lower car. It's been great to take her down to Italy and to her home country, so to speak. All right, I hope that you enjoy this video and that you like it. And if you like it, please hit the like button. And if you like it, maybe you can also subscribe. And now we are going to go grocery shopping because we don't have anything at home. So it's better to do that with a warm car than to make a cold start of the car just to go grocery shopping. So it's better to do it now. Okay, just a quick recap on the road travel in this episode. So we started out in Sarnico, Italy, just south of Lake Iseo, continued to Arese, Alfa Romeo Museum, just north of Milan, then up Lake Lugano, up to Ponte dei Salti in Lavertesso, down to Baveno, back into Italy, and then up, entering Switzerland again to Goppenstein. Goppenstein is where we took the train to Kandersteg. Here from Kandersteg, just a few kilometers north is the Blausee, and from there we continued and then to this Engslingen Falls. Then we continued up to Lauterbrunnen, and this is where we spent the 2 coming nights. Maybe it's not completely clear in the video, but in Lauterbrunnen, basically we took this cable car up here, and then there's a train going to Mürren. From Mürren, we went down here. There was like a round trip ticket that we took. You could also actually go to this Schildhorn, which is Piz Gloria in one of the Bond movies. Anyway, we went down from Mürren, Stechelberg, and then there's a bus back. So it was like a price all in one. After 2 nights we went back. We had a breakfast in Interlaken, and then we continued along the northern shore of Tunasee. After that, we continued basically just going straight from Thun up to through Germany. Hildesheim is where we spent the night at the motel, and then we continued via Hamburg, Denmark, Great Belt Bridge and Öresund Bridge to Sweden. We stayed one night at my mother's place close to Hässleholm, and then we went up to Stockholm. So that was 13 days altogether. Okay, so we're back home and we have made 4,791.5 kilometers with an average consumption of 10.3 liters per 100 kilometers.